freaking time.
Hey,
I was by myself for a little bit.
you were by yourself, and might I add, I watched each and every one of those videos. You did great by yourself.
Oh man, thank you. Appreciate it.
I could not pull talking to myself off, but
Yeah.
you talk to yourself mighty well.
Hey, I do it pretty good. I do it pretty well. If there's anything I can do pretty good, it's just entertain myself, because sometimes I just get bored. Which actually that can be taken the wrong way. So, but some house cleaning stuff. Realist Guys Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Realist Guys PC. You can find us on Facebook, Realist Guys Podcast. If you're watching us on Twitch, you're already following us, so you're there, the Realist Guys.
Yeah.
We have go ahead and follow us on YouTube, where this video is going to be posted, the Realist Guys PC, or just Realist Guys Podcast. And last but not least, go to our freaking website, dude. www.realistguyspodcast.com. It's got everything from our podcast to videos.
To quote what somebody once said about Pasty Boyz music, it's better than you think.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
It's a good video. We'll have to link that one day on the Realist Guys channel. I do have that video hidden away somewhere.
Okay. All right. The Pasty Boyz. If anybody doesn't know, I was in a hip hop group called the Pasty Boyz, and it was me and my friend. He goes by Eddie Mars. He's got his own thing going. Hit him up at Eddie J Mars. There's his plug for him.
What were y'all going by when y'all were Pasty Boyz though?
Josh and Eddie.
No, I'm pretty sure he was Easy and you was Cheesy.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, and before we shortened it to Cheesy, I was.
He was Easy Mac and you were Cheesy Mac?
Yes, I was.
God, y'all are horrible.
It was. And it was his dad who came with the idea, and we were like, "Oh man, that sounds retarded. Let's do it." So,
I have to. It is the first week back. I have to rag on you a little bit, you know.
That's true. That's true. And so, that's where Pasty Boyz come from, and it's because we're white. It's not because of the little things that ladies put on their nips. So, no joke. There was a guy who wrote us an email upset at us about our name, because he thought it implied and it referenced pasties on the lady nips. And no. So he was very upset and angry with us. And, I mean, you're not getting anywhere in life unless you have some haters. So
It's true.
So, yeah, it was just it's a great experience. So yeah, that's that. Kyle.
What's up?
He's got the glasses.
My eyes were starting to bug me. I had to go get them. Sorry.
And which makes me think of one thing, because if anyone hasn't noticed, Kyle has a goatee now. And
oh gosh.
And
oh gosh, you gonna bring this out? You gonna bring this out right now?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It reminded me of somebody. And I'm gonna show everybody.
Who?
If y'all seen Toy Story, there we go. That's Kyle, right there. So, good times nonetheless. But yeah, man, we're in the thick of things.
Hey,
we get a little off track.
Hey, this show's already more entertaining than Raw this week.
Honestly, I would agree. So I have the duties of going over Raw this week. We're in the thick of things. We're almost to the grandest stage of them all. The biggest stage, WrestleMania. And I'm excited. I get excited for WrestleMania every year, regardless of how the product has been. It's just, I'm excited. I get excited. It's just a fan, you know?
That's too.
So we have, you might hear some craziness too in the background, just to let everybody know. I got a 3-year-old and I got a newborn. So if you hear something crazy or somebody just slamming through the door, don't worry about it. Just ignore it.
Don't even worry.
You know, I got a mean stiff arm. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, have you seen the video of that newscaster that did that?
Oh, yeah, and the mom that came in. Do you see the spoof for Darth Vader?
No.
Darth Vader and, like, Princess Leia came in and got little robots. So we're all over the place. But no, I'm gonna go through Raw, man. It was I don't know if you following the tweets I've been putting up, but
Every
have you seen
single one.
that the Robert Downey Jr. picture of him rolling his eyes?
Every time Stephanie McMahon comes on the screen, every time.
Yes, every time, dude. Like no matter what, she comes, her music hits, and I just roll my eyes, and I just curl up in a fetal position and cry. It's ridiculous. I can't stand it. She needs to get off the TV, but we've been saying that for like forever now.
Yep.
Anyway, the show opens up. Mick Foley, he's coming out, has this letter in his hand, and he's reading, looks what appears to be things that were forced. Talking about he wants to thank Triple H for the opportunity as he goes on his leave, and then he just kind of goes on his own and starts going off, and then Stephanie McMahon comes out with like a 1995 choker, which the 90s is like in style right now, so it's kind of, but still, just a terrible idea, terrible fashion choice.
Not in style though is Stephanie McMahon, so she can.
Yeah. Well, even still, it's just a bundle of things I don't want to see on my TV. I'm sorry, Stephanie McMahon, if you're watching this, which you probably aren't because you couldn't care less about us.
Yeah,
podcasters.
We know Vince is watching it though because he actually
listen to us.
Yeah, he listens to us.
Yeah, so hopefully he listens to this episode because
get her off my screen.
Yeah. So anyway, she fires Mick Foley, and Sami Zayn comes out for some reason, and then Samoa Joe comes out and beats up Sami Zayn. And then that's that. Last week, Dana Brooke, she kind of turned on Charlotte. They had a match this week. It actually lasted longer than I anticipated. But Charlotte gets the win. Chris Jericho, his highlight reel this week was hilarious.
The real Kevin Owens.
Yeah, the real Kevin Owens skit. And it was funny because we had like this whole time, Chris Jericho's been that heel character, but just the fans have just adored what he's been doing. So now that he's an obvious face, he's getting crazy pops no matter where he goes.
Yeah.
And so this time he had a real Kevin Owens highlight reel sort of deal. And so his first thing he does, he shows a picture of Kevin Owens, head down, doing this, and he has like a Y2J t-shirt on. And calling Kevin Owens a Y2J mark. He marked out for Y2J.
Give him some big words.
Yeah, and so in the background he had a poster of Y2J over here, and then a blonde lady with some big tatas over here. That was
also Y2J just after he'd gained a little weight.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, it was obviously Y2J.
I'm just PC, guys. PC. We gotta be PC.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was my wife at first thought it was Britney Spears. There.
Hey, it could have been Y2J being relevant. Would have been the same time Britney was.
That's true. That's true.
Very well could have been Britney Spears.
But it wasn't Britney Spears. So next up we had I think what was it? Kevin Owens and them came out. They just all started beating up on Y2J and Samoa Joe and everything. All there. I think that was that. Yeah.
The authority. The corporation.
Sure. He had some cruiserweight action. T.J. Perkins versus the Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick won. T.J. Perkins, I think, is getting on everybody's nerves with his character. It just tends to happen, man. When you're over the top, colorful, it's just we're not in an era of people that like that anymore. I'm sorry. It's just when you're too bubbly, he's got cool entrance music, but I mean, no one likes dabbing. There's like there's like a small demographic of people that like to dab, and it's like young people. And
I didn't just dab while you looked away. That's not what happened. Don't.
I mean, it's stupid. I hate it. But if you think though, and I've been watching, like, I follow NFL memes on pretty much every social media account, and
you got to.
They're keeping track. Almost every team that has like done a dab that's been in a championship game has lost. So the dab, has taken its advantage. So like they did it for the Panthers, they did it for the World Series. Who?
Denver Broncos. The receiver that caught the first pass in the Carolina Panthers Denver Broncos game. I remember this because he did the Superman. He did the Cam Newton Superman, and then he dabbed right afterwards. After he caught like a 15-yard pass down the field, on the sideline, he went and walked off. And
that's dumb.
So
that's dumb.
NFL memes are wrong.
Not necessarily. I mean, it still has a very bad track record.
It does.
I'm talking like 1 out of like 9 times. But anyway, dabbing is terrible.
It is,
and nobody likes it. So stop it. With your
TJ Perkins is a whole bundle of things that were popular 4 months ago.
Yes. Yes.
And
except I still really like his entrance music. I still really like that whole deal. I think it's cool. It's a good idea, but I don't like the and then the But the dude's talented as all get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His in-ring ability is phenomenal.
It's definitely campy.
Had to say it at least once.
People are booing him now. They're booing him. So, next up, Nia Jax. She beat Bayley so she could join the Women's Championship at WrestleMania to make it Fatal 4-Way. Why? I don't know. But I'm also not that mad either because it kind of adds a little bit of flavor to the women's division on Raw.
Have we ever seen Nia Jax go after Charlotte? Since they made it?
In the back.
Okay.
But
I'm just thinking that could be a new element. I don't know if I've ever seen the two of them in the ring together on Raw.
No. Which would be nice. That's why I think it's not bad. I mean, Nia Jax gets a lot of heat because a lot of people don't think that she's prepared, but
yeah,
I think she's getting better, and it adds flavor, dude. I mean, how many times we've seen Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley as good as the matches are? It's good to add some flavor in there. So, Nia Jax, welcome to the Women's Championship match. Triple H, he came out, had a little interview with Michael Cole, and talked about Seth Rollins. Pretty much had a deal for Seth Rollins. Offered him a match at Mania, but he has to sign the contract about acknowledging that he's wrestling hurt, and like pretty much WWE is not held responsible, for all that stuff.
Personal opinion. Are you believing that the injury was as bad as they said it was at the beginning? Or is this all kayfabe?
I think most of it, especially from last week or the week before, where he did the crutch and dropped the crutch and everything, I think if it was real, they wouldn't have done that. They wouldn't have done the
they wouldn't have let Triple H beat him over the knee with the crutch, yeah.
Exactly. So I think most of it is story now. It got me though in the beginning.
It did.
I felt really bad. I did. But as soon as that happened, I was like,
"You got me. Okay. You got me."
I do believe that he may have tweaked his knee.
Yeah, I believe that there was
I don't think
some sort of
bad.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. So we'll probably have a match with Seth Rollins at Mania.
Thank
it really
the
got
Lord.
They really got on people's heartstrings too because he missed last WrestleMania. He had the knee injury. The fact that he'll miss it again.
Yeah.
It just everybody was feeling it was easy. It was an easy story for people to believe.
Well,
it's super easy.
Not only that, with the turn that Seth Rollins has had this year, like I thoroughly believe Seth Rollins was probably one of the bigger draws people had to Raw at that point. Like, people loved Seth Rollins with the turn he had to go face. And, I mean, I was talking to my parents earlier, and my mom was like, I hated Seth Rollins when he first started, but I'm glad he's back. I've missed him. I like Seth Rollins. I'm like, yeah, that's the typical WWE fan right now. It's like, I really like Seth Rollins now.
Yeah,
now that he's not under the authority. So that just adds to the pulling on heartstrings. When it's somebody you like, you want to see do well, and then they have this kind of tragic story arc. It makes it that much easier to get to those heartstrings.
Yeah. So it got me, dude. It got everybody.
It got me, yeah.
So it worked. Next up, Cesaro, Sheamus, they defeated the tag champs, so they're going to WrestleMania to compete for the championship, including Enzo and Cass, the realest guys, and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. So that should probably be a great match too.
Yeah.
Aside from Enzo, he's my dog, but he's not the most graceful in the ring.
I feel like they just need to let Enzo talk for like 10 minutes before the match, and then keep him out of the match. Like
either that, or he'll be the one to take.
He'll eat the pin if him or Big Cass don't win. It will definitely be Enzo that eats the pin, I believe.
Yeah, well, Cass isn't getting pinned.
Enzo or Carl Anderson.
Yeah, exactly.
One of those will eat the pin.
What's it called? Next up, we had Austin Aries. He went up against Tony Nese. Austin Aries getting his in-ring action. He's going up against Neville at WrestleMania, so that's going to be a great match and a fun one to watch.
So I was the one out of the three of us. I was the one that watched TNA the most back in the day. I love Austin Aries. I loved him back in TNA. The showboaty, in the middle of the match, I'm just gonna jump up on the top rope and lay out. Like, I love that, like, egotistical. I know I'm great, and I'm gonna brag about it.
Yeah, I'm ready for this arc to be over though too, so that way he can go to being a heel.
Yeah, he needs to be a heel.
Even when he was in NXT, he was just better as a heel, and in TNA,
great as a heel.
It works better with his character, what everybody knows him as. So, but either way, it's going to be a good match. I'm excited. Last but not least, we had a rematch: Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns. Boo!
Yeah.
You just hear the name Roman, you just hear boos. And then
I'm just glad that you admitted it finally here.
No, I've never doubted that he gets booed. He's still my dog, though. But they had a match. Here's what it is. Braun Strowman's a beast, of course. But we hear the gong, dude. The gong from the Undertaker. Lights go out. Undertaker appears. Braun Strowman's laying on the ground. Braun Strowman gets up. Choke slam from the Undertaker. And then it's followed up by a spear from Roman Reigns, proving that this is my yard. So, that wraps up Raw. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, man. But on that, I am hoping, and Undertaker's my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
I've said it so much, dude, and I've posted on Twitter, and just to kind of get some FaceTime with you on the issue, I think that Roman Reigns should go over on the Undertaker WrestleMania.
100% agree. Roman Reigns needs to go over on Taker, but he needs to go over dirty.
Yeah,
he needs to do something cheap behind the ref's back. He needs to get a weapon involved. Like, this needs to be the turn that you've been hinting at because they've been hinting at a turn for a while now.
Yeah,
at least since Rumble.
It would be. I don't know. It would be. They would be missing out on the biggest opportunity of a lifetime. And not only that, like months ago, remember, Undertaker said WrestleMania will no longer define me. And I think that also set it up too that
The
hey,
streak isn't a thing anymore.
the streak
for him.
isn't doesn't represent me anymore. And I think a loss at WrestleMania, I don't really think it's going to tarnish much. I really don't.
I think the only thing with that is, and like I said, I agree he needs to go over.
He does need to go dirty.
He needs to go dirty. I'm just afraid that Undertaker probably doesn't have another WrestleMania. Right. He probably does not get that again. So do you want the only two people to beat Undertaker at WrestleMania to be Brock Lesnar, which is okay, Brock Lesnar's a beast, and Roman Reigns? And then also, do you want Undertaker's last WrestleMania match to be a loss?
I think a loss to someone's last match is acceptable if it's under the right terms. Like, if it's because think about it this way, especially, and yes, why not have it Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns if they capitalize on it? Because if they just have Roman Reigns go over him clean and remain this babyface character, it's going to have a lot more backlash.
Sure.
But think about, JR said it. This is a grand opportunity that you will have a superstar. If you put him over on The Undertaker cheaply, whether it's a low blow, get a weapon involved. I'm thinking also the Usos, his cousins, coming out and interfering in the match.
Yeah, I thought about that as well, yeah.
The bloodline thing. But getting over on The Undertaker in such a way that would draw so much heat, and beating The Undertaker, and then that being The Undertaker's last match, why not? Because it made a superstar. It was for a purpose. The Undertaker really doesn't do a lot for nothing at this point in his career.
Yeah, for sure. While we're on the subject, I do also, I know this has been, the idea of imitating this group has been done and done and done, but I would also kind of like the Usos and Roman, if Roman does have this heel turn, I want to see all three of them on both shows. And not because they're supposed to be, but because they're like, hey, in NWO style. Like, I know I'm not supposed to be here, but I'm a badass and you're not going to do anything about it. Like, we're going to run this. And that would be a cool, like, attitude to put into that group. And have, like, Roman's just going to be on SmackDown with the Usos. That's how it is. He's not a SmackDown wrestler, but he's going to be there. You always got to have your eyes in the back of your head for Roman. Same with the Usos on Raw. Just because, that's who they are now. And
it would definitely be intriguing for sure, but
I think they could. They are one of the few groups I think could actually pull something like that off as well.
Yeah, but I'm with you. I think this might be his last. And I watched him. He was speaking to the Longhorns. They put on Twitter. But the Undertaker was speaking to Longhorns today or yesterday, and Undertaker like limped up to the forefront. I'm like, bro, you're limping, and you're like less than 2 weeks away from Mania, so it can still put on a show. It won't be as taxing on his body because he's not getting tossed around like Brock Lesnar. But
yeah,
I really think it'll be a huge mistake to not capitalize on this. Like, what more can you do to make somebody evil, your next huge villain, other than beating The Undertaker at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Or they might have it, beat him clean at WrestleMania and still make him a heel. Have him grab the microphone after he's done and just rub it in.
Yeah.
Everybody's face at the end. See, I told you this was my yard. It's me all by myself and I don't need anybody. Boom.
Yeah. Or there's a lot of ways he could have some sort of interaction with Shawn Michaels and attack Shawn Michaels based on the whole thing a couple weeks ago. He could attack Taker after the match, not even having to
attack him with the Usos after the match.
Yeah,
do a triple power bomb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they could do all sorts of stuff. But yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
I just, as a fan, I don't want to see Taker's last WrestleMania be a loss. That's what it is. It's that.
As a fan,
It's the fandom thing.
As a fan, I want to see Undertaker not wrestle anymore. For his well-being. Honestly. Yeah, dude. But anyway, there's some other news here too. Here at Realist Guys Podcast, and I process personally want to extend our thoughts and prayers to JR. His wife was in an accident, riding on her Vespa, wasn't wearing a helmet, was hit by a 17-year-old boy in a car. Multiple fractures to her skull, lots of brain trauma, was on life support, and she passed away a couple days ago. So we want to extend our thoughts and prayers, and also to say, everybody out there, man, you're not invincible. Love those closest to you. Be kind to those around you, and man, remember, wear a helmet. Wear a helmet. I mean, here in Texas, it's not law to wear a helmet when riding a motorcycle or anything like that. And if you live in any other places like that too, don't think you're invincible. Wear a helmet.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know what's going to happen. And so, it's, and the whole wrestling community and everyone from WWE, former WWE that were connected, said that, man, she was an angel. And blessed a lot of people. So our condolences go out to JR for sure. Some pretty cool news though, kind of lift up the spirits a little bit. The Hardy Boyz, they are Ring of Honor Tag Team Champs, but that didn't stop them from getting an offer from WWE for a contract. So they do have new contracts in front of them. There hasn't been any word yet of them signing, but we do know that they're considering, and there's some rumors about them making a WrestleMania appearance.
We do know both of them have said they would like to end their careers in WWE,
especially Jeff Hardy. Not only that, there's been some kind of legal talk going back and forth that Impact has the rights to the broken Matt Hardy brand, that it was their idea, it's their properties.
Yeah.
So that might be interesting moving down the line, because Matt Hardy has resurged his career with just that strange gimmick. But it's resurged him. It's resurged, even gave Jeff Hardy a new, being Brother Nero, kind of giving him just a new platform too. So I'm pretty sure it would be cool to see the broken universe in WWE. Very interesting.
I would love to see that. I don't know if WWE would do it, just because I don't know that it would go over as well in WWE as it did in TNA.
It's a smaller market too. It's definitely a niche community.
Yeah,
niche community for Impact.
Yeah, but I mean, just the ideas of getting the legendary, like, this is the Hardy Boyz. I mean, I wanted to be Matt and Jeff Hardy.
For sure.
That's.
I mean, when you played a video game, SmackDown, the very first SmackDown video game, or SmackDown, what was the next one? Was it Bring It On?
It may have been.
Just Bring It, not Bring It On. It's a freaking cheerleading movie.
Just Bring It.
Just bring, Here Comes the Pain, all these, man, I was like Jeff Hardy all the time, or I created superstars that emulated Jeff Hardy in them.
When they started the My Career modes, all of my superstars were either Matt Hardy or Jeff Hardy. They'd have my name obviously, but I'd try to model as much as I could.
Oh yeah, with the sleeves.
Yeah.
And everything.
Dude.
Oh yeah. So that would be exciting. That's pretty much it for now. I think I want to wrap that up for Josh's News Corner.
Ding. Drink it in, man.
Anyway.
All right. So
Hey man, let's talk some SmackDown, shall we?
let's talk some SmackDown. So SmackDown opens up, and we have the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. AJ Styles. And he, he's accepting Shane McMahon's WrestleMania challenge. Shane McMahon came out 2 weeks ago and said, after getting beat down by AJ, and said, AJ doesn't have an opponent at WrestleMania? Well, he does now. AJ's like, great. I love it.
Yeah.
I
Just
like
put me
it.
on the card.
Just
put me on the card.
I don't care who I'm facing. It's a travesty that I'm not on WrestleMania.
Which it was.
It certainly was. Shane McMahon goes up to Dan Bryan, says he's pumped for it, basically. Where's Shane at? Shane's not there yet. He's coming later.
Do you like that, though? Do you like the Shane McMahon AJ Styles match?
So here's what I will say. I like Shane McMahon. I've always liked Shane McMahon. I find it enjoyable. I don't think he's a great wrestler. Not at all. But I find it enjoyable when he's in the ring. I just like his personality. But here's what I will say. At no point in time did Shane McMahon say he was AJ's opponent.
Huh.
All he said was you do now. He never said it was him.
Yeah.
I think it implies that it's him. I think it is him. But
That's true.
I also, yeah. There were just some.
It wouldn't make any sense though for Shane McMahon to get beat up so much and then have someone else fight AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
It would make him too much like his dad.
Be a coward.
Yeah, it would make him too much like his dad back in the day. Like, oh yeah. Well, here's Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. I think it's honestly, dude. I'm sorry, nothing against Shane McMahon. I think it's a waste for AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
I think it is too. I would have preferred, and I use the word preferred very loosely. I would have preferred a triple threat match than to AJ Styles being.
Yes.
But I also I want the one-on-one simply because I want that storyline to be the forefront.
Man,
and
it would have been
if
so awesome.
AJ being in that match would have put on a great match, but story-wise, it would have been we've got the story and we've got AJ trying to intersect himself.
Yeah, we have
somehow.
We have Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt with the history.
Yeah,
and
so
it makes sense. Yeah.
I like that they're keeping it one-on-one because of the story.
Yeah, I just think, man, who else would he fight though? Who else would he have a match with? AJ Styles.
Yeah, I mean,
Everyone else is kind of already taken.
Anybody else he would have a match with, it's like, oh, been there, done. Like Dean Ambrose would have been done it. Like,
man, that guy.
The Miz,
we'll talk about him.
Done
later.
it. But yeah,
fire right now though.
Dude,
we'll cross that bridge.
The Miz is, yeah. So we go from AJ Styles to they call SmackDown the land of opportunity, and we've hit on it on the show before. A lot of that is because you just never know when championships are going to change hands on SmackDown. Raw championships walk into the ring, you almost guaranteed they're going to walk out on the same ways. SmackDown, you never know.
Never know.
And we had a championship match last night, or 2 nights ago on SmackDown, and the championships switched hands. The Usos defeated American Alpha.
Oos.
Oh.
Yeah, man. I'm pumped. Dude, it was a great match too, man.
It was.
That match was incredible.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was done multiple times. The super kick, I thought it was done. Jordan hit, was it Jimmy or Jay?
I can't remember, but he had the Kurt Angle's, what's it called?
They don't call it the Alphaplex. That's the other one.
I can't remember what it was called. Angle Slam.
Angle used to call it the Angle Slam, yeah.
Angle Slam. Which they need to, I think it would be good for him to use it as a finisher.
Oh
and
yeah,
not as a signature, but a finisher.
yeah.
Bring that back.
But I love where the Usos are at right now. We've talked about it multiple times. This Uso tag team character story arc. This is what I want for Roman Reigns. Because honestly, I want to like Roman Reigns, but this is what it's going to take for me to like Roman Reigns at this point.
Yeah.
Is this vicious, vindictive, mean streak to come out of him all of a sudden.
Oh yeah.
And I'm loving the Usos because of the same thing. Great match. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
That's right.
But we go from there. Baron Corbin calling out Dean Ambrose for the IC title at WrestleMania. I forgot that wrestlers were allowed to make their own matches at WrestleMania. I thought that was, a bigger stage than that. But, whatever. Yeah. Baron Corbin's gonna call him out for WrestleMania anyway. But yeah,
I didn't know challengers got to determine.
Yeah, that too.
When they challenged for a title, but hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, he unfortunately goes into Daniel Bryan's office at the wrong time. Daniel Bryan had just gotten off the phone with Shane McMahon after the whole AJ talk about AJ's gonna be waiting for Shane again. And he's like, you know what? I haven't heard from Dean Ambrose, but you're not getting the night off like you think. You're going up against Randy Orton.
Boom.
Drops a bomb. Just.
You dropped a bomb on me.
Yeah.
Baby. You dropped a bomb on me.
Are we done? Okay. So. So yeah. Randy Orton's one of the top wrestlers of all time in my mind, my opinion. But Baron Corbin, he's just not impressing me in the ring. Like, I kind of like his character. I kind of like what they're doing with his character. He just, he's got a couple go-to moves, and other than that, he's not impressing me much.
He was picking up some steam. His stock was increasing at the beginning of the year. At the end of the year, beginning of the year, it's definitely been definitely going on an incline, right? His both his speech and his in-ring work.
Yeah,
incredible. You know what I think that what has been his issue? His unfortunately for him though, it's been this feud with Dean Ambrose. It's kind of made him stagnant, and because that's Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose is just stagnant, dude. He's not.
I agree. I also think my issue with Baron Corbin right now is he's hitting WWE at the wrong time. Like, he's a big man, but if I start looking at other big men in WWE, they're outperforming him inside and out. Like, he's not doing some of the same stuff Braun Strowman, Luke Harper, Kevin Owens, Bray Wyatt. Like, those dudes can move. Those dudes can do some ridiculous stuff for their side. Baron Corbin's like, oh, Hulk Hogan, strong, yeah. And he just doesn't do anything that sets him apart.
Yeah.
Like those other guys. I mean, those other guys are amazing.
I think by not doing those things is kind of setting him apart because all the other guys are though. It's just a bummer that he's stuck for it. So I don't mind that, honestly, of him not diving out of the ring like Luke Harper, doing kips like Braun Strowman, and all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
It's just, man, he's been stuck with Dean Ambrose.
And that's true too.
The most stagnant character on the roster, both Raw and SmackDown, is Dean Ambrose. And he's been stuck with feuding with this guy who, if did you watch Dean Ambrose's interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin
No.
on the podcast? I mean, the guy has. I mean, he's tough to even as a real person to talk to.
I have seen stuff, Total Bellas, Total Divas. I've seen him on some of those stuff with Renee Young, and he does just.
Yeah. His whole it's meh. That's Dean Ambrose. That's just you look him up underneath Dean Ambrose. It says meh with a period. And unfortunately, Baron Corbin's been paired up with him. I'm ready for that to be over. Give Baron Corbin the belt. And let Baron Corbin move on.
Oh, the IC. I was thinking the heavyweight. I was like, no.
No.
The IC belt. Yeah, no. I'm down with him getting IC.
The cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Give him the cruiserweight.
I mean, if freaking Bobby Lashley can get the X division, why can't Baron Corbin get the cruiserweight?
Freaking Impact, dude. Garbage. Sorry.
Yeah, it is now. It didn't. It wasn't always. Some of us can remember fondly the glory days. But then you go from there to backstage. Randy Orton gets attacked by some sheeple.
Sheeple.
He's got some sheeple attacking him. And I don't know what that did you see this segment? Like Bray held the red X in front of his face and then slammed it down.
I don't even know what that was. What was that? I was looking at
it was a red X? Yeah, it was shaped like an X, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and he was like uniting Randy Orton with
it. I have like give me some storyline. Like, I'm intrigued. Not because I'm actually intrigued. I'm just like, what the heck was that?
Yeah. It's just weird. That was just strange. I have no idea.
Yeah, you don't get much there other than this almost silent, like, knighting to the head. It was almost like a cross though and then he went to the head and straight down and he almost made a cross with it.
The red on there. I was like, oh, maybe this is like, really creepy religious,
Yes.
It's got a red cross on a thing, and he's doing, I was like, okay, because he's got this messianic, Messiah complex. So, that would have made sense. I just didn't understand it. But did you see, you did see what I posted on Twitter. You said you see everything, but Bray Wyatt in an interview spoke about Bo Dallas. And he was saying Bo Dallas is the most talented wrestler on the roster. He's just underrated. They asked him about if he ever would join with his brother.
I was about to say a lot of that. I believe it because I watched Bo Dallas for a while in NXT and stuff, and he is a super talented dude. I also think a lot of that may be that's my little brother. Like, yeah,
I think there's part of it in there too. But the cool thing about it is, aside from all that, because I don't think he's the most talented on the roster, but the fact is Bray Wyatt was saying that he actually would like an alliance with Bo Dallas because there's a part of Bo Dallas that people just haven't seen, and Bray Wyatt's like, I'll be happy to show you. So it's very possible that they end up together, which would be dope. Actual bro, like the Usos, the Hardys, actual brothers teaming up.
He's already got Sister Abigail in his corner. Why not Brother Bo?
Why not?
Yeah. And then we can
and dude, name him Brother Bo, not Bo Dallas.
Brother Bo. Hey, WWE.
Hey,
hit us up. Hit us up.
Are you listening?
We can write for you today. Fly us out. We will write today. You got nose hair though. It's sticking out just a little bit. You might want to tweeze that.
Listen.
But run. Follow the buzzards.
Okay.
But that would be cool. We could have Bray and Brother Bo versus Broken Matt and Brother Nero.
The Wyatts have already stolen the compound idea from the brothers.
Yeah.
So
So one thing we have failed to mention throughout all of SmackDown, though, are these shorts that we've been getting.
Oh,
These
those were amazing.
little segments of what really is the life of John Cena and Brie Bella.
John Cena house rule number 48.
Get your feet off the table. Brie, are you singing? That's house rule number 117.
Brie. It's not Brie. It's
no, Brie was there.
Right,
In one,
was there,
in one they had Nikki and Brie.
Yes, Nikki. I'd like to pop the question.
Balloon with question mark on it. Pop.
That was awesome. And then he went down. He's like, He's like, I know it will make you feel better. And he gets down on his knee, and he goes, bunny ears? Bunny ears?
I have a proposal for you.
Oh my goodness.
I propose you stop breaking rule number 48. It's great. So if you don't know, guys, Miz dressed up as John Cena, Maurice dressed up as Nikki Bella, and they put on little skits and filmed it of just ridiculousness.
If anything, watch SmackDown for that.
Oh my god!
It was called Total Bella's Bull.
Yeah, Bull, and then it just had
Bull.
the
yeah. Bull asterisk T.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I was rolling.
Yeah, it was great.
Every time the Miz would enter one of the scenes, John Cena's music would come on, and Miz would like jump around. It was like
it was great.
It was hilarious.
Yeah,
but then we go from those to having John Cena, the real John Cena, in a match against Fandango.
Fandango. You always say Fandango.
I know, because I like Fandango better, because it sounds like poo, and he wrestles like poo.
Fandango. Hey, Fandango is actually a really good wrestler.
He is. They've just put him in some really bad gimmicks.
Anyway.
Speaking of really bad gimmicks, his partner in crime, Tyler Breeze, comes up dressed up as Breezy Bella. He's dressed up in Nikki Bella's. He does the little hip thing at the entrance. He rips his jacket open to show his fake breast implants that he has in his shirt. He comes out. Nikki apparently wasn't happy about it backstage because she comes out, and they do the couple thing again.
Yeah, they do.
What is Nikki calling? Because hers isn't quite an AA.
I don't know what it is.
But John Cena hits Fandango with a AA, and Nikki Bella hits Tyler Breeze, which I was kind of impressed.
Yeah,
she got him up there fairly easy, threw him fairly easy. Like she's a stout little girl.
It's like a reverse F5 almost.
Almost, yeah. And
cool.
then they both put him in the STFU. Also, might I add, it looked like Nikki Bella's STFU would hurt more as well, because she reached back with one. She was yanking the face with one arm and reached back and grabbed the leg with one arm and was pulling it even further.
Oh yeah.
Like hers looked like it would hurt more.
At John Cena's, and
John Cena's is like lazy. Yeah, he's like, oh hey,
his head's just like right here. Hey, can you tilt your head back a little bit, make it look like it's hurting? But no, the Miz though has been on fire. Like, John Cena has roasted the Miz as far as promos are concerned, like a couple weeks ago, but the Miz is just, I mean, from the skits to just everything, dude. Triple H had an interview this week, and he was saying that he would be surprised if the Miz doesn't end up WWE champion this year.
I would too. As
he's on a roll.
I mean, we're going back all the way to that faithful night on Talking Smack.
When he was the Intercontinental Champ.
When he was that from that point on, there are probably 2 things that The Miz has done that I was like, eh.
Yeah.
But outside of that, he's been on a roll. He's been great. And those 2 things are like Dolph Ziggler and Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We go from there to Carmella versus Becky Lynch. Yeah. Ended in no contest. I mean, Natalya was on commentary, I believe, and then came into the ring. Mickie James came into the ring.
Don't get me wrong, Becky Lynch is
Alexa Bliss showed up. Like the whole thing was just meh, and it was like, let's throw all the women into a ring together. That way, all the women are seen this week.
And the funny thing, I mean, all the women on that roster are crazy talented. So it's not that
they could have utilized them better this week.
Yeah, like let's just throw them in a melting pot. It's almost like they did a go home show version for the women, but the go home show is next week.
Yeah,
this week they still could have some value to it, but whatever.
I also the whole Carmella No-Chin is funny for a second. I think he's holding her back.
It's weird now.
As weird as it is to say, because Carmella has been the farthest thing from our mind when it comes to SmackDown Women Division. If it's possible to hold her back at this point, No-Chin is doing it.
Yeah. Well, dude, they set her up for failure when they separated her from the realest guys.
Yeah, she needs to be with her boyfriend.
Yeah. I mean, they made an awesome trio in NXT. I understand the boys got called up. She was still in NXT handling her business. But
when she
got called up, dude, they should have put her with the guys.
I'm still hoping.
Made a mistake.
I'm still hoping for some movement. Maybe some trades, yeah.
Do you think they're going to have another draft this year? Do you think it's going to be an annual draft?
I would believe so.
Like they did it last time?
I would believe so. And it may not be a full roster draft. It may be like 7 and 7, kind of like you get to pick 7 people. We get to pick 7 people.
Yeah.
It would be interesting.
Or the champs stay put.
Yeah.
And the rest of the roster gets moved around. I don't know.
It would be interesting to see if people get doubled up on, like John Cena getting drafted to Raw and then immediately drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah.
But I think they have to do, with smaller rosters like they have now, they have to do a yearly shakeup, or it's going to get even staler than it is.
Yeah. They if anything, put Carmella back with the realest guys.
Yeah. But you shake it up, all of a sudden now you've got AJ versus Finn. You've got Kevin Owens versus...
I'm ready for him to be back, dude.
Yeah. And you've got Kevin Owens versus Bray Wyatt. You get some cool new matches from shaking it up like that.
And I think that's one of the benefits of the draft is like you actually have these potential dream matches.
Yeah.
That you can look forward to as opposed to, it just happens all the time. So
yeah.
But yeah.
So we go from there. Shane McMahon's in the ring. Calls out AJ Styles. He's like, hey, like if you had a problem not being on WrestleMania, you could have come and talked to me like a man. You could have come and talked to me like a man, and it could have escalated to the point where we beat the crap out of each other. But no, you were a coward. He said snuck attack, which just like I'm like, why are you even trying to speak English at this point? You snuck attacked me. Sucker and thuck-a-tat, Tweety Bird. Just stop. They come out. Yeah, I see it. Probably because most of the time when we say sucker and thuck-a-tat, we're talking about your boy Roman Reigns.
I know. Shut up.
But yeah, so we get the brawl that ensues. Actually, AJ Styles says, like, hey, all I wanted was to be on WrestleMania, and you gave me that. So what I'm gonna do is get in the ring. I'm gonna shake your hand like a man, and I'm gonna apologize sincerely because you gave me all I was looking for. And before he can get into the ring, Shane attacks him. He snuck attacked. Then it breaks down. Shane gets thrown into the barrier. AJ starts cleaning off the table. Shane then puts AJ on the table and hits AJ's arm with a flying elbow from the top rope. Because if you look, there's no way he got over AJ on that elbow.
Yeah.
So I watched it last night and looked at my dad and was like, man, that must have really hurt AJ's shoulder. Because that's all he hit was his arm.
Hey, dude.
But yeah, it was a cool thought. The camera was in a bad spot. You saw you actually saw that he shorted it.
Oh well.
But yeah, so that was SmackDown. That's all that happened. It was a good show.
Better than Raw.
Better than Raw, as it is most weeks. Still not gonna say it was huge. We're in that rut going to WrestleMania at this point. Like there's not. We just got to get to WrestleMania.
Get to WrestleMania. Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, so hopefully they have some surprises there. And so next week we'll have our go home show for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We're gonna have our picks. Also, if you've been following us on Twitter, you also noticed that we've been having a countdown. Mario has his favorite wrestlers that he's counting down till WrestleMania. So keep an eye out for those. Leave some comments. We had some feedback on. Some people didn't like the 4 out of 10 Bret Hart.
Crotchety old man.
Crotchety old man comment, which we love. We love feedback. So.
I disagree with Mario on that one. I think he is a great crotchety old man. That's about all he can do now. He's a 10 out of 10 crotchety old man.
Oh, okay.
Because he's
so
perfect.
He's good at being a crotchety old man.
Yeah. Mario was like, "That's what I meant." The way I phrased it, he's like, "I know it could go either way."
Bret Hart, when he was a wrestler, was 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Bret Hart, because he is a crotchety old man, he is now a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's not that he's a 4 out of 10 crotchety old man, but we get it.
He's a 10 out of 10 crotchety old man.
But keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for those. We're going to be continuing to update Twitter with those. I got a newborn at the house, so I'm trying to update it as much as I can with stuff. And most people that watch this already have so many wrestling news stations that they already follow.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be Reddit, whether it be other news stations. So I try and just grab the interesting stuff. Yeah. Anyway, follow us. Leave some comments on this video on YouTube. We'll be also posting it on iTunes and everything. So, so if you haven't subscribed to us, don't follow us or anything like that. There's only one word to describe you, and I'm going to spell it out for you this week. It's SAWFT.
Soft.
Catch you guys next week. Thanks for watching.